What is observable in Angular? Observables are used to perform the asynchronous operation. So before going deep into the concept of observable, let's understand first what is asynchronous and what is synchronous. Synchronous operations means line by line execution of tasks. To understand this better, you can consider this example. Suppose if you want to watch a movie on a Netflix and you have to wait for the entire movie to load, and till then a loader is coming on your screen. So you can assume how much time it takes to fetch the 3 hours movie from Netflix, right? So it will block the front end part, the video player where you will see that movie, and this is not a good user experience. So that is the case of synchronous tasks. Whereas asynchronous task means you do not have to wait until the first task is done. Here also you can consider the example of Netflix. Suppose you want to watch a movie and you do not have to wait, and that is the case which we see in the current scenario, right? We see the movie seamlessly with a good user experience, right? We do not have to wait for the entire movie to load. How these asynchronous tasks are getting handled into Angular, that is where the observable comes into picture. How observable handles the asynchronous task? To understand this practically, you can consider this example. Here, the user is requesting to fetch all the employee details from the server. That request will be sent to the database. After getting the response from the database, the server sends the response to the user, right? But in case of asynchronous operation, it do not blocks the other task, right? So in that case, what will happen? The server response will be sent into the packets. Not the entire data will be sent, but the stream of data will be sent in packets, right? That gives the more power to asynchronous task to be in continuation because it is sending the data into the packets. You can consider the example of Netflix. There you do not have to wait for the entire movie to fetch, right? That will take more time to load the entire movie. You can assume that. But in that case, what happens is there is a streaming happening. You would have heard the Hotstar streaming, Netflix streaming, Prime Video streaming, right? So what happens that user requests the movie from the server, and the server gets it from the database chunk by chunk, stream by stream, packets by packets, right? So that you get few chunk of movie. Until you reach there, the next chunk of data has been sent, so that the fetching of data from the database and the execution of that in front end will be easier to maintain the good user experience. So this is how asynchronous programming works. I hope you got the basic understanding of asynchronous and synchronous. This is a basic terminology. For every observable, we need some observer, right? This observer will be handled through subscribe. One more thing, the observable and observers are being handled using the RxJS library. This is a reactive extension library for JavaScript. This library provides the methods to handle the observers. Let's see this in action. Let's understand the concept of observable in practical, how observable handles the streams of data. So for that, you need to import observable from RxJS library. This is the library which we are going to use to handle the observers. Let's create one observer here. Sample observable is equals to new observable. New observable. We can use the observer.next method. Observer.next, like this, observer.next. So these are the tasks, like this is the first task, second task, third task. So we can understand how the observers handle these tasks step by step, and we have to write this here, right? and we have to write this outside this ng on init and inside the export class. Now here we will subscribe this using sample observable dot subscribe, and here you can use the value like this, and we will print it here, the value. Let's run this and see this in action. Admin courses file, and if I go to inspect here, you can see here, if I run this again, if I refresh this here, you can see a data task is getting handled one by one here, right? 1 2 3 4 5, step by step the data is getting loaded. So if I add the timer here, you can use the timeout method here. Like this. Here you have to write this observer, this, and here you can assign the milliseconds. How much time should it take in milliseconds, like this, 3000 milliseconds. 4th task, 5th task. Let's run this, and as you can see here, the first task is loaded, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th, but we do not have to wait for all the tasks to be done, right? We even if the first task is ready, we got that. Even if second task is ready, we got that. We do not have to wait here. That is the advantage of using the asynchronous task, and that can be handled using the observables, and that is the best part, I think. So this was all about the observables. I hope you got the concept how to handle the observables. In this lecture we are going to see one more thing, like in previous episode we have seen how to add the data into the Firestore, right? Now here, with the help of observables, we are going to fetch the data from the Firestore as well. So for that purpose, all you have to do is go to the course backend service here. You can create this method get data. Okay, here we have created the collection, right? Similarly, you have to create the collection, and this dot Firestore is already created here inside the constructor, and you have to name the collection name from where you want to get the data, right? Similarly, we have initialized the collection data. If you remember here, we have used the add doc method, right? We have used the add doc to add the data into the document. This collection data will help you to get the data, and that can be handled using the subscribe method, and we will get the chunk of data. We do not block the system, and that is where the concept of observables come into picture while getting the data from the database. So here we will assign it a collection reference to this collection data, and using this subscribe method we will get the values, right? And where we call this get data in admin courses, we will call this here inside ng init only. We will call it this dot CRUD service, which we have created already. If you remember, we have already created this while adding the database, and now we are just using that, and we will use the get data method inside this CRUD service. So the entire backend is written inside this CRUD service here, course backend service. Okay, and we are using the get data method of this collection. So let's run this and see this in action. To get the data, we commented this code here of observable, and as you can see, we are getting the data from the Firestore. Our course category was added, web course, and course name was this, and for C, C++, Python, and this was the data. Let me show you. This was the collection which we have created, course category, web course, like this. I hope you got how to get the data from the Firestore. Now we have done how to add the data into the Firestore and how to get the data from the Firestore. Now we will see how to update and delete the data into the Firebase. For that, we need to create the admin to fetch all the data which was created like this, and we have to display it here, right? And after clicking that, we have to create one screen here where we will fetch and display the data here. Whatever data we are getting from the Firestore, that we need to display here, and when the user or the admin clicks on any field or any data, we need to update that, right? Or delete that. We need to update it or delete it. So that is the task which we need to perform, and it would be better if we keep this to the concept of observables only. In the next episode, we will see how to update and delete the data from the Firestore. That's all for today's episode. I hope you got the concept of observables, asynchronous task and synchronous task. See you in the next episode. Thank you for watching.